It's me again, and today I'm sharing with you an AV term or a piece of equipment that you'll probably recognize if you're in the AV world, or if you've never seen it before as a client, you've probably seen this guy. This is called Gaff tape, one of the strongest and most expensive pieces of tape that you'll probably ever see. We use this in the AV world for taping down our cables because naturally with any event there's always a liability hazard of people tripping over all of this beautiful glorious noodle situation here. So in order to prevent that from happening, future injuries for both ourselves and for people in general, we tape this down with gaff tape. The best way to tape down any type of cables that you have, let me just angle this so you can see it a little bit better. What you're gonna do is you want to first gather up your cables like so. What I've done is I've just taken my extension cord here and I just wrapped it as closely to its original loop as when I brought it out to set up. Take this and just wrap it like so, just to kind of give it a more uniformed look. Sometimes you don't want to do it too much because then you'll run into tension like I'm running into right now. So I'm just going to loosen this up. And since I have it set up with a TV currently, I'm going to take this is my extension cable that I've also connected, and I'm going to just push it underneath the TV just like this. Just so that way it's nice and neat and out the way. And now that I've got it situated the way that I want to, I'm now going to take my tape, and it's okay if sometimes the tape ends up looking like this. We just end up cutting the strips in different ways just to make it easier for ourselves. So I've got my extension cable nice and wrapped up and lined up in the way that I want it. I just pushed it a little bit underneath this TV that I have currently. And what you typically want to do is line up your cable in as straight of a line as possible. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So this is how I currently have my extension cord. I try to line it up as straight as possible. As you can see, it's still a bit curved, but that's okay because as we're gonna continue to tape along the floor here, we're going to be able to straighten it out so it's a bit more linear instead of curved like this, because if we can get this straight while we tape it down, that helps emulate as flat of a surface as possible for people to be able to walk over it. Okay, so I've got my extension cable here. I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to take this little strip and I'm just going to lay it flat here. This is a starting point, so that way as I continue to tape along, I can grab my tape and stretch it like this. So as I make these little small points, as I go down my cable, I'll be taking my tape like this and I'll be able to flatten it out and just follow the markers that I've already made on my extension cord. Sometimes it's also helpful to use your knees or your feet too as you're holding the cable down, so that way it helps you to get it as straight as possible as you're taping. So I'm just gonna take my knee right here, press it down just to keep it steady, take my piece of tape, rip it in half, and continue to make my marker here on the ground. And so this is a good amount of markers. I just only made 4 because it's not that long of a cable or that far of a distance from my starting point at the TV back here. So now I'm just gonna take my tape and I'm gonna tape all along the cable, like so. And it's not going to be perfect as you tape. At some points you're going to have your cable probably sticking out to one side, like I've got mine sticking out right here in this corner, but that's okay because you can also tape over it just as long as you're still going in the same direction. The whole point is to make sure that your cables are completely covered by this tape. And there you have it. We have our extension cable nice and taped to the ground, so that way as people are going about their event or going throughout the space, they'll be able to walk on this without having to worry about tripping over it or injuring themselves, especially for a tech as well. If you're walking around the space and doing things throughout the event, this is also going to help prevent injury from yourself as well. And that was your AV tip of the day on how to use gaff tape, what gaff tape is, and how to properly use it to tape down any cables that you have for your event. This is also good for you if you are a client hiring an AV tech and you see a lot of black tape on the ground. This is exactly what we're using whenever we set up for your event. I hope this was helpful. If you like this, please be sure to give a like, subscribe, and comment down below of any tips and tricks that you have. If you've ever used gaff tape before yourself, thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.